Okay, so in this session, we will see fixed value in CPI. Okay, fixed value. Usually, fixed value in CPI means this will be created inside the integration repository and define the value for field mapping. So this function generally used for fixed value transformation during the message mapping based on the key value. So let me explain with some examples. So I'm going to take this as a source structure. You can see employee ID, first name, last name, gender, male, phone number, department, designation, start date, end date, country code, and then constant. So this is the source structure I'm going to take. And then this is the target structure. So employee number, full name, gender, email, mobile number, organization unit, job title, date, country, and then status. Okay. Now this is in JSON structure. Let me first convert this into XML format and then XSB schema. Okay. So now I'm taking this structure using online tool. I'm converting into XML format. JSON to XML converter. Source dot fixed value. Sorry. Dot XML. Okay. Then I'm converting this XML into XSD schema, XML to XSD. So we have to mention some root nodes here. Okay, this is the XSD schema. I'm copying from here. I'm saving this file like source fixed value dot XSD. Make sure the extension. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Now I'm taking the target structure. First, I'm going to convert into XML, then XSD. Target fixed value dot XML. And then I'm changing this into XSD schema. So this is the XSD target. Target fixed value dot XSD.
So, Chandru, here, save as type, when you leave it as a text document, is it fine?
Yeah,
So,
it's fine.
okay, okay. Because I don't know, in some iFlow, when I was working on XSD schema, it didn't work. That's why I was asking.
It will work.
Okay.
Um, okay. So now we have both structures. So now I'm creating one new iFlow for this fixed value. Fixed value. Yeah. Okay. We created the iFlow. Let me edit. Let me change this into edit mode. Okay. Now I'm taking one message mapping. Fix value. Okay. Here I'm going to upload the source XSD schema. This is the source schema. And then here target schema. File has validation error.
I think the extension you gave .xsd or
Oh,
XML.
sorry. Hmm. Okay. Okay, now I'm doing mapping. Gender to gender, mail to email, phone number to mobile number, department to organization unit, designation to job title, country code to country, and then constant to status. Okay. So I'm going to concat this first name and last name into full name. Okay, using the concatenation function. Let me delete this connection. Okay. Concat. So using this function, I'm going to concat the first name and the last name into full name. And then start date to end. Okay. Okay. Now let me upload some test files here. And then I'm simulating this flow. Let's see whether the mapping is working or not. Okay. Now there is no issue. Now the mapping working fine. Okay. Now let's do the value mapping. I mean fixed value. Sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to do fixed value for this country code field. Okay. So I'm deleting this connection. Fix value. So in the advanced section, I'm going to pass some country codes as a key field. Like IN, USA, UK. IN means India. USA means United States of America. United Kingdom. Okay. Now let's simulate this. Okay. So in the country code field, I'm passing IN. Let's see the output. See here, I'm getting India, USA, United States of America. This is how the fixed value works. Okay. So now here I configured three country codes, right? IN, USA, UK. If suppose uh, if I pass apart from these three country codes, I will be getting some error rates. So in fixed value, those errors can be classified into three ways. One is use key, default value, throw exception. So let me explain by one. Okay. First throw exception. Okay. So throw exception means uh for example, here I'm passing SG. But these country codes which I am not configured in the fixed value. So let's test this. You can see here it is throwing some exceptions. No method, I mean No value found for SG. So that's why it is throwing exception. This SG country code which we not configured in the fixed value. That's why it is throwing exception. Now moving to next, use default value. Here I am passing Canada. Canada. I'm simulating this. Okay. Here I'm passing SG. You can see this country code which I not configured in the fixed value. Let's simulate this. I'm getting Canada. Why means I'm getting the default value. Uh, this country code which I not configured in the fixed value. That's why it is returning the default value. Okay, Canada. Now Canada is the default value which I configured here. That's why it is returning Canada. Okay, and then use key. Use key means, for example, uh, for example, you can assume GE. So these country codes which I not configured here. Okay, I'm not configured GE here. So now I'm simulating this. You can see it is returning the key value. So any doubts here?
Oh, Chandra, only one question.
Ah,
See, just now, maybe for training purpose, you have given few input values, right? Like the key
yes,
values.
that's
Okay,
correct. Ah,
but in general, like suppose if we have many key values, do we enter everything manually or can we pass through any file?
no, no, you have to mention manually.
Enter everything manually.
Yeah, the
Okay.
functional will provide you. You should enter
Okay.
manually.
Okay. Okay.
So moving to next one, date function. So uh, this function, this current date will return the today's date. Okay. You can see here this function will return the current date in the specified format. Twen- 2026-01-07, which is today's date. So if you want to change the format, you can do as per the business requirement. So if you want DD, MM, YY, you can assign. You can see 2027-01, 2026. So you can alter as per the business requirement. And then date trans. Okay. To perform these date trans, you require two dates. Okay. For that, I'm taking to constant value. Oh, sorry, one constant value is enough. Twenty 26-01. Let's take today's date, 27. Okay, imagine the sender is sending the date in this format, like year, month, date. But in the target system, expecting date, month, and year. So using this function, you can do the transformation. Okay. You can see this is the input date, which is in YYYMMDD. This is the output, which is in day, month, and year. And then date before. So to perform this date before function, you need two dates. Okay. So I'm taking one more constant here. I'm taking yesterday's dates here. Here I'm taking today's date, 2026 01 27. So you can see this is the, okay, let me simulate this. Sorry. So you can see this is the first date, this is the second date. If the date 1 is lesser than date 2, it will return true. If the date 1 is greater than date 2, it will return false. Okay. And then date after. This date after is just opposite to date before. Actually, this function returns true. You can see the description here. If the date first date first is after the second, false otherwise. Okay, I will show you here. Here I am passed yesterday's date. Here I passed today's date. Let's see the output. You can see. So if the date 1 is lesser than grade date 2, it returns false. Suppose if the date 2 is greater than date 2, it will return true. You can see the date 1 is greater than date 2. It returns true. These two functions are just opposite to each other. Okay. And then now compare dates. I am taking two constant functions here. Twenty 2701 2026. You can see here it is returning 0. When means if both two dates are same, it will return 0. If suppose if the first date is greater than second date, let's see the output. You can see it is returning 1. If the first date is greater than second date, it is returning 1. If the first date is lesser than second date, let's see the output. It is returning -1. Okay, I'll show you. 1 minute. If the both dates are same, it will return 0. If the first date is greater than second date, it will return 1. If the first date is smaller than second date, it will return -1. Is it clear to you?
Yes. So,
Ah,
Chandru, like in
ah.
real time, where exactly do we use this? Like, is there any, like in any data validation, do we use these kind of functions, like whatever you're explaining on dates now?
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe in some requirements, in the source structure, they will provide two dates, like
Mm.
start date and end date. In some case, the functional team will tell, like, you have to do some validation, you have to check the dates.
Yeah.
That case, you can perform this date function.
Yeah, something like if
Uh,
joining date is less than so
yeah,
and
like,
so given date, then what action do we need to perform?
yeah, like that you
Yeah.
need to.
Okay. So, can we do little more on this like that, Chandru? Like for example, see, you told about like three, four functions, right? Like for the date.
Hmm.
So, for example, compare date.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if for example if I'm saying in my input field if I have the joining date, okay.
Okay.
So and for date one maybe I will give the, so how will I pass the date value from the file? See, it may have multiple values, right? See, for example, my input file, if it has 10 employee details, okay.
Okay.
So everyone will have joining date different, right?
Yes, correct.
So in the current example, whatever you are showing,
Hmm.
here we are passing the constant values for the date.
No, no. In real time, uh,
Mm.
they will provide two dates, like start date and end date.
Okay.
For training purpose, I taken constant value here.
Okay, okay, okay. So instead of constant, we use the start date and end date
Yes.
values.
Yeah. In real,
Okay,
they will
okay,
provide two dates, like
okay,
start date and end date. The source.
okay, okay, okay. That makes sense.
Okay. Now moving to next one, constant. So let's see this constant function. So I think you know, right? For example, there are some requirements. They will tell you, you want to do some hard code. In that case, you can prefer this constant function. Okay, now I performed constant for this country field. Okay, now let me simulate this. You can see in the country code I passed Bangalore, but you can see the output. Can you see I'm getting America? Why? Because I hard coded inside the function. Okay, that's why I'm getting America. And the next function is null function. Actually, uh, nil is a mapping function used to explicitly send a null value to the target field. Okay, this will ensure the XML element exists, but there is no data. Okay, let's see. I'll show you. You can see uh, it indicates the XML element exists, but has no value. This is also called one type of null value. And then last one is copy value. I'm taking one constant. Okay, I'll show you some examples here. Copy value. For example, I'm taking one source structure. Students ID. One name. Ram. I'm changing the ID into 2. This is third record. You can see in the input, I have 3 records. This is first one, second one, and then third one, and then target. Students ID. Name. Let me beautify this. Okay. Finish. Okay, let me explain quickly. So assume that this is your target structure. I mean, source structure. You can see contains three records. ID1 as Ram, ID2 as Bala, ID3 as name. Okay. This is the target structure. You can see ID1 Ram, name as, you can see the name is repeating, right? So this copy function, so uh, actually copy value means it is a message function used to pass or copy a value from the input to the target. Okay, with the options to select occurring using an index. So if you want, I mean, here, if I can see if I pass 0 in the output, it will it will repeat the RAM name field. 1 minute, I'm getting.